Hello everyone. Sorry that I don't have webcam right now. um, my name is Santiago Ruiz, and for my lesson plan, I am designing a course called Introduction to Acoustic Ecology. It will be a upper level uh, with one class period and lectures and periodical labs. I decided to do a course on this topic because it's pretty new and common, and I think it can be a good introduction for undergrads interested in acoustics and using sound for wildlife, ornithology, ecological and conservation uh, studies. One of the objectives is for the student to see the acoustic dimension of biodiversity as a tool to solve traditional questions in ecology and conservation, like how to measure species richness, how is a species distributed in the landscape, how does a disturbance such as deforestation of fires affect a given species. So with this approach, instead of the students seeing this branch like something isolated and like pretty specific, it is intended to be a complement to their training in wildlife. So they will be able to associate like the methodologies that they learn in this course to another topics. We'll have a structure inspired by the usual workflow in acoustic ecology of research. So in the lectures, I will first cover the fundamentals of the role of sound for animals, and then I will scale up by talking about like soundscape ecology, adding like the anthropophony, like the geophony, and other sorts um, of sound, and uh, then I will seek to cover the most important concepts of the discipline, and at the same time, I will look for case studies related to the students' preferences. In the lab, I will focus initially on the most useful techniques for collecting acoustic data on the main groups of animals like birds, bats, frogs, and whales. And then I will focus mainly on methods of extracting information from acoustic data using coding language such as R or Python. Like in the lab, the last part will be like my biggest challenge because there will be like a requirement of taking like code courses or having like any sort of coding experience before taking the course. So I plan to develop like some lab sessions where the student can get familiar with a programming language easily, with the goal to motivate the student to keep learning coding by himself, and the code will that I will provide will be clear and useful enough to use it in the future. So there will be like I will try to encourage like a connection of any assignment to like the future applications depending of the student preferences. In this way, once the student satisfactorily complete the course content, they will be able to understand the basic concepts in bioacoustics and ecoacoustics that will allow them to truly like understand the terminology in scientific literature. And at the same time, the labs will be designed so the student will have a methodological basis to use information in online repositories and tutorials to solve different problems. With the purpose of incorporating active learning in the classroom, during the course I will give like assignments where the student must develop a problem not previously mentioned in the lab. So they will have to search on different sources as repositories to solve the problem by themselves. And the structure of the class will be according to the topic. So at the beginning of the course, I will give lectures with like the theoretical fundamentals, along with mini games with application like Kahoot, where you can basically do like quizzes in your class and the students can like answer in their phones. And that will be really useful because I will be able to contrast the student perception of the topic before like talking and learning about the topic. And in this way, the students will be able to realize what they have learned in the course. And at the same time, I will have feedback about it, like how they know on any topic, which will be helpful for designing appropriate workshops, assignments, and evaluations. And finally, the evaluation of this course will be a compendium of multiple activities. So, like I will grade the lab reports, I will make some periodic quizzes, and two exams to test what they have learned in the course. Thank you very much.